13 years ago, I decided to quit smoking cigarettes. It was one of the hardest decisions of my damn life, and I'm very glad that I did. It's something that I don't want to go back to. However, I do kind of feel bad about missing the vaping craze, because for those of you who are ex-smokers, you realize that one of the things you're never actually able to get rid of is the physical addiction to smoking. It's very difficult to not have that running through your body at all times. But you learn to live with it. You learn to manage it, and that's the whole point. But when it comes to vaping, I've always kind of looked at it as a solid alternative, right? Something better than smoking, let's say, cigarettes or even hookah, which is terrible for you, but God, it's so good. So good. But e-cigarettes have been kind of like look, the lobbying arm of the tobacco industry has been going after e-cigarettes for years, and they finally struck a massive blow in the last couple of days, especially as a result of the 6 vaping related deaths that occurred due to popcorn lung, which if you look into it, it does appear that it came more from the black market versus people that were buying it legitimately. So as a result of all that, New York put a ban on it, and now Walmart says it's going to stop selling e-cigs because, that's going to stop people from buying them. You can buy them online. It's so stupid. Now it says Walmart will stop selling e-cigarettes because of regulatory complexity and uncertainty surrounding the products. This is from a CNBC report on an internal company memo about the change, and Walmart did confirm the news, saying giving the growing federal, state, and regulatory complexity and uncertainty regarding e-cigarettes, we plan to discontinue sale of electronic nicotine delivery products at all Walmart and U.S. Sam Clubs locations. We will complete our exit after selling through our current inventory. So buy it while you can. It's going to go on clearance, right? It's going to go on clearance here very soon, so get it while you can. I still think it's pretty dumb, if I'm being honest with you. I still think it's pretty dumb to do that. I think it's pretty dumb to stop selling the product because they're of growing concerns over regulations. I mean, we're dealing with a president who rolls back regulations on emissions in cars in California, uses federal law to do that. Has an energy lobbyist that running the EPA, rolling back tons of Obama era regulations to further harm our environment, considering selling 1,500 square miles of Alaskan beachfront property to the oil industry, when that is part of a as part of a wildlife refuge and whatnot. Our president that we unfortunately elected has no care about the environment, no care about people. But e-cigarettes, 6 people died from e-cigarettes, and now all of a sudden everyone is clamping down on the vape. Don't get me wrong, vape culture is nauseatingly annoying. All right, I have sat through more than a few streams on Twitch of people that are just trying to hawk vape products and whatnot. And you're like, okay, I get it. You vape. You're worse than vegans at this point, and that is hard to do. But at the same time, you cannot sit there and look at our federal government under this administration and go yeah, this seems like something that's purely humanitarianly motivated. How much money is the tobacco wing given to the Trump re-election campaign or given to any of the senators or anything else? I'd like to know that. I don't know that, but I'd like to know that. Now, Walmart's decision comes soon after U.S. health officials announced the 8th death due to mysterious vaping-related lung illness. The first death was reported in August. Since then, several media companies have pulled vaping ads. The policymakers have begun to tighten restrictions on the U.S. and elsewhere. Yesterday, Senator Mitt Romney and Jeff Merkley introduced a bill to ban e-cigarette flavors other than tobacco and apply new taxes. They want to get rid of anything that tastes good. Let me tell you, when it comes to smoking, let me tell you something. Tobacco, it tastes good. You don't smoke unless you like the taste. It's not just the act. When someone lights, even now, 13 years later for me, when someone lights a cigarette, when they light it, that first puff and I smell it, I have really keen smelling. When I smell it, oh, that's a good smell. You know how people like coffee, like that first smell of a new percolated batch? That's me with a cigarette. It smells great. So trying to say that we're trying to limit people getting e-cigs and vaping because we want to get rid of the taste. You dumbass. That's why smokers smoke. They get used to the taste. They grow to like it. So dumb. And Jeff Merkley from Oregon, you're letting me down, Merkley. You're letting me down. Now, Walmart stopped selling fruit-flavored e-cigarettes earlier this year, and it raised the minimum age of buying tobacco products to 21. E-cigarettes have been promoted as a safer alternative to smoking, but dessert-like flavors have been blamed for enticing teenagers into vaping. I began smoking at the age of 15. A lot of my friends began smoking when they were teenagers. A lot of people start smoking when they're teenagers. When you are a teenager, you are prone to rebel. You are prone to push back against what they tell you is taboo. And when I was part of the smoke-free class of 2000, right, that was something that was told to me when I was at least in third grade. Like, hey, you're going to graduate in the year 2000. That's a long time from now. That's 9 years from now, but you're the smoke-free class, so don't smoke. That was 1991. By 1997, I was up, man, fucking, these are great. Until I decided to quit 9 years later. I think it's so dumb. So dumb. Now, the lung illness, however, is related to e-cigarettes. In fact, it's not clear precisely what's causing it. Since the start of this year's vaping-related deaths, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has recommended people consider refraining from using e-cigarettes or vaping products, although if they use vaping products to quit smoking, they shouldn't switch back to cigarettes. Yeah, but you're kind of changing one vice for another. That's how this whole thing works. When you quit smoking, but you start eating a lot, you're kind of changing one vice for another. Believe me, that was my downfall. I put on 17 pounds in the first year I quit smoking. It was, it's a habitual thing. So you replace it, something with something else. Oftentimes food is what replaces it. But some people will go back to smoking. And that's not good for them either. It costs a lot more damn money. And again, a lot of this problem is coming from the black market of vaping, people who are cutting it with different chemicals. There are people out there who know a lot about vaping that have had no problem. They've been doing it for years and have had no problem. But unfortunately, people out there who are buying it from an untrustworthy source are now literally ruining it for everybody else. 8 people have died in the last 2 months or month and a half off of this, and that's terrible. How many people a year die from actual tobacco-related deaths, whether it's cancer from smoking or secondhand smoke, which is a far greater killer, I think, in some instances? How many people have died from that? Not a problem. Nope, it's fine, it's cool. You know what? Smoking used to be promoted as a healthy act back in the day. It's totally cool, totally fine, not an issue here, not a problem, folks. Don't look at the man behind the curtain situation, because they're funneling money in. And our federal government is capitulating to that nonsense, as they usually do, because as they always like to do, let's look at one small thing that, yes, needs to be discussed. But when there's other larger, more important issues at hand, like, I don't know, the unrelenting amount of people who get killed from guns in this country, and let's not address that at all. Let's not look into what's causing that, but 8 people die from vaping. Shut it down. This is the goddamn United States. It is not Madagascar in a game of Pandemic 2. It's so stupid. And I don't even smoke, and it's so stupid. Now, while the rules around cigarettes are well established, vaping has occupied more of a nebulous position, and it's not surprising that a company like Walmart could find that disconcerting. Walmart declined to say whether it might restart selling e-cigarettes if a new legislation is passed, or health inspectors offers more information about the recent illnesses. It's not hard to figure out where it's coming from. It's coming from the black market. That's already been talked about by a lot of people. But of course, the fear sets in. It's always the fear. Isn't it? It's always the fear. It's always the what if. It's always the, ooh, no, what if? That's always what it is. And it's ridiculous and it's stupid. It's annoying and it's dumb. And it's the world we live in. Let's avoid the actual problems by focusing on things that don't actually really need it in the same level of seriousness. We have rampant mental health problems in this country. Homelessness. There's children locked in cages, separated from their parents, who are potentially being discussed about being, held indefinitely for committing the misdemeanor crime of crossing our border. Good Lord. 8 vaping deaths. That's going to cause a national ruckus. But 50 some odd people killed in Texas over the span of a couple weeks by guns. Not a problem at all. And I say this as a person who's pro Second Amendment and who likes guns. And I'm saying this because there is clearly a bigger issue with that than this. But I do look forward to your comments. They should be a lot of fun. Please write them down below. Whether you agree or disagree, you thumbs up or thumbs down, I want to hear what you have to say about this. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Be sure to become a channel member. Link below in the video description, and peace out.